this might not be a question you're able to answer, but are serial killers, because during that time, through the 70s, through the 90s, we were really trying to, as a society, catch these guys, understand these guys. Has instances of serial killers per capita gone down, or has that really changed at all? I mean,
well, serial killers I've just written a book about them for Visible Ink Press, which is out next year. The biggest book I've ever written, 150,000 words on serial killers. So I spent a year...
On Dark Ground? No.
Nope. This book is not going to be released for another year. Okay. But I spent a year delving into this subject and looking at countless serial killers. They've always been with us, but one of the things that I think has fueled the explosive growth is the media fascination with them.
Right.
You know, I mean, you look at killers like Ted Bundy that had groupies, that had a genuine following, you know, and you look at the serial killers that are on death row, like Richard Ramirez, responsible for the most heinous rapes and murders, getting fan mail from people. So
right.
Society.
I had a friend in high school who wrote back and forth with Charles Manson. Yeah.
We have this perennial fascination with the serial killer, and I think that has led to more of them operate. I really, really do. Serial killers only recently have become, and I hate to use this word, cool. Right. You know, because they're not. They're vile human beings. But they're unfortunately, you know, how many true crime documentaries are there? How many books have been written? How many films have been made? Because people are fascinated with what they do. And some of them attain almost rock star status.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, everybody talks about soccer moms. I mean, my wife's an ID channel mom, and there's a lot of them out there, you know. She just loves the ID channel. She'll basically sit on her tablet and play Animal Crossing and run the ID channel in the background. She loves it.
Yeah. And so what's kind of interesting would be that if his victim had not escaped, Herb may well have just kept on killing and would probably have gotten away with it. They found Fox Hollow Farm after searching, driving the back roads of rural Indiana, looking for something farm with a big wooden sign. And of course, this was long before Google Maps, Google Earth, anything like that.
Right.
You just drove, right? And you covered hundreds and hundreds of miles of highway until they finally caught a break and managed to track down this farm. So he could have gone on killing and killing and killing for many more years if he hadn't slipped up and let one of his victims live.
You know, the serial killer that makes me think the most about what you were saying before about sort of the coolness and the stardom of it is, I forget his name, but he was the guy who was posting videos on YouTube of him killing cats. I guess he wasn't a serial killer, but he ended up murdering, and he left a bunch of clues that were movie quotes, and he would kill kittens online, and he was just all about the fame of it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're right. I can see that happening. You know, another statistic that's been blowing my mind here lately is that this month shootings in New York City are up like 40% from last month. I mean, this exact time last year. And of course, here we are in COVID, people aren't going out, but apparently they still have time to shoot each other at a higher rate, you know? So it's like, you know, the stresses of the world and the media of the world and stuff, you know, really might be an influence on people. You know, we've always said like, oh, video games don't make people kill. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe they do. Kara,
I think my belief, and I'm working as a paramedic, so my belief is that those kind of influences make you more of what you already are. So if you have some degree of derangement, if you have an inability to either tell or care about the line between reality and fantasy, you know, I think that there's an influential factor there. I mean, I've gunned down thousands of people on Call of Duty, but I would never dream of doing it in real life. But not everybody sees that distinction, do they?
Yeah, well, they definitely don't. I mean, listeners of this show have heard me complain before that as a horror movie fan, I have a hard time finding other friends that are fans of horror films because most of them take it a little too seriously. I like horror films like a roller coaster. You know, I want it to be over. I want to get off and talk about how cool it was. You know, it's not something that, you know, I don't have the look. I'm not like dressing up like a horror. I don't know. It's like they take it a little too far, and I have a hard time connecting with it. So yeah, I don't know.
My thought on that is I don't see the person that goes to, say, a horror convention and dresses as Michael Myers to be any different than the person that spends the same amount of cash on a Denver Broncos sweatshirt, you know?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily mean dresses like it, but I meant tries to model my day-to-day life after after the actions of it, you know, the darkness and trying to be the mysterious person, you know, doing the cosplay. I mean, hell yeah, that's fun. I'd do it too, you know, but
yeah, I think it comes down to, again, knowing where that line's drawn, right? I like a good horror movie too, but the whole point of a horror movie is you're scared safely and you know the roller coaster's going to end and you're going to step off and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And of course, horror movies are rehearsals for death. They get us used to mortality.
Right. All right. Well, I am loving this topic. You're listening to Richard Estep here on Radio Wasteland. We're talking about his book, The Horrors of Fox Hollow Farm, the unraveling of the history and hauntings of a serial killer's home. But that was just the first half. When we come back,
only the beginning of the
about
story.
The paranormal aspects that had followed the initial murders.